Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's the kid, Jered Sanders, a.k.a. your resident minister, a.k.a. Mr. Hope is Dope, a.k.a. the preacher with a grill, keeping it real. And I would like to welcome y'all to episode 2 of Misfit Moments. Listen, I'm going to be tapping in with y'all weekly to give y'all a little sprinkle of what God gave me in hopes to edify, edjumicate, and encourage you on how to live the life of a misfit. See, the motto of the misfits, I'm going to say this every single time, comes from Romans 12:2. Be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good, acceptable, and perfect will of God. Listen, I don't intend to be here before you long, and I know every preacher in America has probably said this before, but I believe in the power of Jesus' Sermon on the Mount. And the key component of that is often missed, in that with all the beatitudes and all of the blessed of those, kids was there too. And you know how kids' attention spans are. So anyway, it wasn't just 5,000 men. If it was, I would wonder why they abandoned their families. If it was 5,000 plus men and women, I would wonder why they left the babies with grandmama and them. So I think it's safe to say that there were kids there too. I'm coming to you with Misfit Moment number 2, entitled Jesus Ain't Tripping. So what we're gonna do is go through the book of Mark, the gospel according to Mark, and it reads, chapter 4, verse 35 through 40 reads, on that day, when evening had come, he told them, let's cross over to the other side of the sea. So they left the crowd and took him along, since he was in the boat, and other boats were with them. A great windstorm arose, and the waves were breaking over the boat, so that the boat was already being swamped. He was in the stern, sleeping on the cushion. So they woke up and said to him, teacher, don't you care that we gonna die? He got up, rebuked the wind, and said to the sea, silence, be still, or in other words, peace, be still. The wind ceased, and there was a great calm. Then he said to them, why are you afraid? Do you still have no faith? Peace, be still. So peep this. Have you ever needed to hear somebody that you care about, somebody that was important to you, some person in authority say these words over your fearful and frantic feelings? I don't know, maybe your mom and your daddy calmed you in such a way after a bad dream, or during the stress of your final exams, or maybe your spouse gave you an encouraging word when it was a difficult time. See, Jesus' disciples heard these words from Jesus too, and it came in a really unusual manner. So peep this, try to put yourself into the scene. You finished up a long day listening to Jesus teach these crowds. He tired. You tired, and everybody need a break. So you set sail across the Sea of Galilee, retreating to this distant place where you hope to get some rest. See, Jesus was tired. He was tired, y'all. In fact, he falls asleep in the back of this boat, and he don't awaken, and the storm start rocking and rolling on the ship, and the storm gets real rough. It's a great windstorm. Verse 37 says the waves were breaking into the boat, so that the boat was already filling. So the water was getting over the sides of the boat. They about to sink, y'all. You and your buddies, the disciples, y'all done spent some time with Jesus on the water. Some of them was fishermen. Like y'all had just seen what he did with fishing loaves. But see, this event started freaking you out. This the same one that just broke fish up in some loaves from the previous episode, and he done fed all these people. But guess what? You freaking out because now it's water in the boat. So you turn to Jesus. But see, Jesus asleep. How in the world you sleep, Jesus? You know, that's probably what they thinking. And they all about to die. We all about to die. Jesus passed out on the cushion in the back. You know what I'm saying? You shake him up so he don't get swept overboard in his sleep. And because something in you looks to him for reassurance, you like, Jesus, come on, man, help me out. You know what I'm saying? And he speaks some extraordinary words. Not to you, but to the wind and the waves. He don't even say it to you. He say, waves, peace, be still. And right then and there, the storm ceases. The wind dies. The waves calm, and you look at your comrades in shock. See, the weather might have settled down, but your insides are still churning. So who then is this that even the wind and the waves obey him? Check this out, y'all. I just want y'all to culminate on this. Jesus ain't tripping, because this is the Son of God, creator of the world and the commander of the forces of nature. What he wills is done. Mark included this story to highlight the power that Jesus had over the world, in the winds and the waves and all of the stuff that looked like it was going on outside of him. And it affirmed his identity as God. Not just the Son of God, but God, because he could tell the winds and the waves to chill out, and they did. See, while the disciples at the time, even though they had saw those miracles beforehand, they did not quite grasp the truth of who he was yet. And we, on this side of history, can add this to Jesus' resume. Power over the human body? Check. By his stripes we are healed. We got that, right? Power to forgive sins? Bet. He did that. power over the elements of nature. Check. So with all of this divine power, I just want y'all to know in this misfit moment that Jesus ain't tripping. He could calm your emotional, your relational, and your circumstantial storms. Your job issues, your school issues, your friends, your family, whatever it is that you're worried about. Or he can calm you as you walk through the storms. However he chooses to work in your life, have confidence in his unbelievable ability to accomplish his will. The winds and the waves obey him. He ain't tripping off them little problems you got. Bring them to him, and like the disciples, don't hesitate to ask for his help. Anyway, that's the Misfit moment for y'all today. And again, Misfits from young and old, alumni, university, middle, high, kids, and everybody else in between. I just want y'all to know that the Misfit moments are based upon Romans 12:2, and be not conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good, acceptable, and perfect will of God. I'm out.